Our project on this virtual mobility from Group 20 is about dilemma of time. These are the members from Padjadjaran University and Maastricht University. Okay, let's focus to our ethical dilemma. Imagine a Western agency called On Point or LP is trying to get involved into an Asian company. They set up a meeting which gets rescheduled a couple of times due to time management changes by the Asian company called Collective Needs or CN. When the meeting finally takes place of OP workers and the official get there early, but somehow CN runs a little late, leading to a tense environment. While workers of CN have finally arrived, the whole staff is still waiting for their official who, after finally arriving, states that he needed to deal with a small family issue. While Obi is eager to start the discussion about the important contract, CN members start with presenting a little welcome present and hoping for a good collaborative work together in the future. After setting several goals on behalf of the collaboration, several difficulties occur in regard to deadlines. Well, the LPO visual simply decides for the workers when to be done. The ZNO visual first need to figure out how deadlines can be achieved, putting his workers' schedules into account. Overall, this is an example of an intercultural dilemma in a business setting. What's the best way to meet both cultures' needs? We will discuss it later in the end of the video. Now, let's watch illustration about punctuality and deadlines on Southern European people.
I'm sorry I'm late.
Yeah, finally. I'm wasting my time here. We were supposed to meet like 10 minutes ago, okay? That's an important meeting. I could do better stuff. That's not okay.
I'm very sorry.
Example for how important punctuality is for us, especially when it comes to business meetings or meetings related to work or university. It's really important for us to be punctual. So 5 minutes late is already considered late. But it also depends on the status of person. For example, if your boss is 5 minutes late, that's okay. But if you as a worker are 5 minutes late, that's considered as a poor work ethic. So it's really important to be punctual when it comes to business meetings. And also regarding deadlines, we're quite strict here. At uni or at work, you only have one deadline, and when you miss that deadline, it's just it's not going to be counted, and you just miss the deadline, and then it's your own fault. You don't get a second chance, or we don't have second deadlines or something.
And for us, time equals money. And actually, we also have a monochronic view of time, so we prefer to do one thing at a time. And like you said, if you're late, that can be seen as an immoral act or behavior. And when we don't do anything, we think that time is being wasted.
I guess in conclusion, we can say that Westerns are just less tolerant regarding being late or regarding wasting time. We're really strict on that.
After seeing that video, you must be wondering what is time for Southern European people and Indonesian people, right? Let's take a look on Southern European people first. For them, time is even our personality-related, subjective commodity that can be manipulated, stretched, irrespective of what the clock says. Meanwhile, for Indonesian people, time is relative and arbitrary. It means time depends on whom and which situation time is defined. The starting time of these activities depends on the most credible ones and at what they have determined. On this slide, we see the definition of punctuality and deadlines. Punctuality is a characteristic of being able to complete a required task or fulfill an obligation or at previously designated time. On the other hand, deadline is a final time that a task must be completed by. Why these things happen? It's because the perception of time that varies across culture on seeing punctuality and deadlines. We will first take a look on perception of time in Southern Europe. They see time as a multi-active vision of time. Time is also event or personality related. They see present moment as more important than appointment. Southern European people prefer to do more things at the same time and they feel happier and more fulfilled when they do this. Best way for them to invest time is human interactions because they don't like it when conversations are left unfinished. On the other side, Indonesian people perceive time as cycle. Vision of time or Indonesian call it jam karet or elastic or rubber time. They also view time as synchronic. Indonesians focuses on doing things right to maintain harmony. These cultural types by Louis represent the position of Indonesia, Netherlands, Germany, Switzerland, and Luxembourg as our members come from those countries. Netherlands' place is near the linear active and Germany, Switzerland, and Luxembourg are on linear active. Meanwhile, Indonesia is in the fourth place not reactive. Now, the question is, how does time perception influence punctuality and deadlines? On Southern Europe, sequential culture is a prime value to punctuality. Punctuality and deadlines are seen as a higher degree of importance. Failing to meet deadline means poor work ethics. On Southern Europe, on time is defined as less flexible and people adopt the narrow on time window or OTW as adaptive response to living in a fast-paced society. Southern European people also assess punctuality in units of approximation 5 minutes. On the other hand, Indonesian people live on synchronic culture. It means punctuality completes with other cultural values. For example, reschedule business meeting due to family factors. They see doing things right and maintaining good relationship as a higher degree of importance. They prioritize more communication and particularistic. Indonesian people are flexible in defining on time, which means a larger on time windows. Indonesian assesses punctuality in units of approximation 15 minutes. After seeing and analyzing the ethical dilemma about time, what is the solution to meet both cultures' needs? Our group suggests that first, we need to be aware of each culture's values regarding time. Second, we have to be aware of our own culture's tendencies and inform other party. Third, regard differences in perception of time and deadlines. And last, don't be insulted by someone being late or extra demanding when it's part of their culture. These are some references that we used on making this project.
There you go. Oh, yeah. Come on. Come on. Come on. There you go.
Thank you, terima kasih, Dang Ji, Dang Dear.